Hi, very good warm welcome to you guys. It's Jim from Avstar. If you're interested in 2 updates from a real observatory that has real equipment monitoring geoanomalies such as the magnetic North Pole migration and comes from a real qualified person in that field, then join us on Patreon, because there isn't another YouTube channel that has that background. They'll talk about the subject regurgitated from other websites, but they will not or cannot give you real-time information on those subjects. So on with what I'm looking at the moment. All cat owners should now have their pets microchipped as new legislation comes into force today, the 10th of June. Owners must ensure that cat is microchipped before they reach the age of 20 weeks, with their contact details stored and kept up to date in a approved pet microchipping database. I'm just wondering a few things about this. First of all, did the owner of the pet microchipping database give the relevant minister in government a blowjob and some shares for him to pass this legislation? The second thing what makes me ponder is how trivial is this, and why is the government passing legislation when all the other things that are more relevant just get swept under the carpet? They're more interested and more focused on passing legislation to make sure that people that own cats microchip them. Doesn't say nothing about dogs being microchipped, that they have to be microchipped. No, it's just cats. Is the minister that passed this legislation through government a cat hater? Was he one of these children that when he was at a younger age used to torture and kill cats? These are the signs of progressive behaviour that is more commonly linked to psychopaths. Do some research for yourselves. You'll find that what I've just said is accurate. It just makes me wonder why there needs to be a database on the addresses of people that own cats and why they have to be microchipped. Is this to do with pacifying people that at a later date you're going to get microchipped? You know what? We're living in a burnt society, and it's going to get worse. Eventually they will get their way. They'll get their one world currency. They've got the one world government. What do you think the United Nations is, and all the other countries that are in the European Union? Oh my God. I was watching a film the other day on Netflix, just sidetracking for a moment, and there was a film I watched called Pain Hustlers, and it was about medical reps. And you can do a bit of research on this. These jobs actually exist, and I have spoken to a few of these because I was going to get into the same industry years and years ago, because when I saw how much they got paid, it was unbelievable. But it wasn't just how much they got paid, it was what they was being paid to do. Bribe local GPs into prescribing certain drugs that they worked for, that they were repping for on behalf of the medical and pharmaceutical industry. If you think it doesn't go on, it does. And the proof of it is that job exists. Let me tell you what they're allowed to do, these medical reps. If you want to get into a very well paid job with some amazing perks, then look up medical reps. But you're going to find it very hard to get into, because what they're going to ask you is, first of all, are you new to the industry? Second of all, tell us how you managed to secure the appointments with the doctors. And if you've never done anything like that before and you want to just start as a medical rep in that industry, they're going to ask you, first of all, to go and shadow a couple of medical reps in the field. What they're allowed to do is buy gifts and take the doctors out for meals, pay for expensive holidays. They won't admit this because there is a law against doing such things. Doctors are supposed to prescribe the best medication for the ailments of the patient. But if you think a couple of extra £1,000 a month on the side for that doctor isn't enough to persuade him, then you're very wrong. And this is the big problem with our world today. There is too many backhanders going on. And people will turn a blind eye and put the conscience in a closet in order to get a little bit more than the average person. You know, if you've got a conscience in this world, then you're going to be poor for the rest of your days. If you can't be scrupulous and be prepared to turn a blind eye to, you know, harming people, other people, then you're not going to make any money in this world. I guarantee you that. Because everywhere, in every industry, there is a bribe, a backhander, and you know it as well as I know it. You know, we've got companies and organisations. Let's talk about the United Nations. What do you think one of their main incomes is, and where it's from? It's from world governments, and it's over green policies and climate change. They're not interested in human rights. There's no money in upholding human rights, but there is money in raising taxes on the back of CO2. Just like this legislation should never have been put in place because of all the other laws that should be put in place to protect people. It's just not there, is it? And this is the world we're living in. And I'll tell you now, you have no idea what is coming down the road. And just like all these professionals out there that are turning their backs on doing the right thing at this moment, you know, there are people in organisations which are doing that, which is directly going to affect you. It's like I'm saying now, we live in a world of psychopaths that have no empathy for harming and causing misery to others. Within the next 10 years or less, I say less because of the rate of you know, technology now is on another curve which I've never seen before, and artificial intelligence is ending careers of people. I've heard it, people almost in tears, that, you know, they're in their late 50s, they haven't finished paying for the property, they haven't got their nest egg set up for when they retire, and they've just lost the job. They was given 30 days notice after working for a company for over 20 years. Why? Because artificial intelligence had replaced their job. And when Elon Musk rolls out his robots, which he's rapidly working on now, they are going to replace most people's jobs. Robots very capable of doing any labouring job, and then on the back of it have more intelligence than human beings. That's what you've got coming. And what is so worrying about that? I'll tell you. Because there's 8 billion people that are participating in a monetary system called the capital system, the capitalist system. And they depend on a job in order to participate and obtain money so that they can participate in that system. And when there's no jobs for those people, the crisis will unfold. On the back of all the other things and all the other priorities in life, climate change, geomagnetic reversal, grand solar minimum, the future is not looking too good for humanity. And you won't hear any of these politicians talking about that. But there's a real crisis coming, as we will by month now see people lose their jobs and not able to get back into the industry. They will lose their homes, lose everything that they've worked for unfairly in their lives, and unfairly lose that. Yeah, I can leave it to your imagination. The thing is if you're in an employed job at the moment, how long will it be before it's your turn? Are you ready to lose everything and own nothing? Because I guarantee you one thing, and you can take this to the bank: you are not going to be happy. Link down there if you want to help support us, and it's not mandatory. And to be honest, we really don't care these days whether we raise any money or not. We just like to inform people of, you know, relevant things. You might think, what relevance is this cat chipping database to anyone? I'm just telling you, that's where the minds of your politicians are right now. With all the other things that they could be doing and writing policies up on and passing laws on, their priority is chipping cats. Link down there if you want to help support. And if you want regular database data on the magnetic North Pole, come over to the Patreon channel. Links are down there in the description. You have a good day.